Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
The big leagues got flipped on their ear this week with an explosion of COVID tests being positive and hundreds of players going into COVID protocol and staff too. Gosh knows we've learned over the past 21 months that there are bigger things than sports, but because of the intense glare on the industry, it's hard not to notice its every move. And on Wednesday, we learned indoor venues of 1,000 or more in Ontario will be going back to 50% capacity for the foreseeable future due to the province's surge in COVID cases. The big leagues are tightening their COVID protocols 10 days after the CFL relaxed theirs. I mean, what the hell? So I don't know. I suppose we all have our own perspectives, but as the host of a TV sports talk show that airs across Canada and 31 states, I'm just wondering if the show, sports, will continue to go on. The World Juniors is top of mind for me. Shoot, on TSN Sports Center, I heard them discuss the notion of going back to a bubble for sports. Really? Now, here's the most confusing thing. If you listen to or read this commentary every day, you'll know I'm in Florida doing my best to cover and attend sports down here. I go to every single Florida Panthers game, and there's neither a vaccination nor mask requirement at FLA Live Arena. There were nearly 14,000 fans at Tuesday's game against Ottawa, and no problems. The Capital One Orange Bowl goes New Year's Eve as National College football semifinal between Michigan and Georgia. 65,000-seat Hard Rock Stadium is sold out with tickets starting at $500 US. Why this is and why Canada is the way it is, I have no answers. As they say, I'm just happy to be here.
How about that? Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Now,
listen, I know that I'm a stickler for details. I come from the old school, learn it from my dad, and I know our next guest, Bill Chow's from the old school. I've heard in past places that I've worked that I wasn't that well liked because guess what? I held people accountable. And also guess what? We won!
How about that?
Details, details, details. Details win, details lose. Are you winning now?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Is happy Friday, everybody. It's a little thing called FlameTech Football Friday, and we're here for 2 hours. I guess no Game Plus television today, but I'm also told this is the last time that's going to happen, that we're preempted on our television network due to a gaming tournament. But I can tell you we're live on YouTube, and I appreciate that. Tell your friends, and also listen live at rodpedersen.com. Coming up on the program today, a couple of live guests. Hi, Darren. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I love when the credits are rolling and they say, Darren just left.
How about that?
So coming up on the program today, Natey Adjei, Toronto Argonauts broadcaster, who I understand has been added to the Raptors broadcast crew, and also Jeff Reinebold, the Hamilton Tiger Cats special teams coordinator. So we're going to get rolling with some hockey news right out of the gate here before we get to the quick six. But just on the Game Plus thing, no, but honestly, where did you go, Dan? Where did you have to go when the credits were rolling?
Phone rang.
I guess, they don't know that you're on the air. Gotcha. Well, when it comes to the Game Plus television, when I open up the text line and I see all these texts have come in on the 902 number asking why we're not on Game Plus. And I guess they don't know who else to ask, Darren. But asking me programming decisions at Game Plus, as I said, is like asking Connor McDavid why the goal light is burnt out. You know what it's not a joke. Who should they ask when we're not on Game Plus? Should they tweet at Game Plus? Because I'm kind of getting tired of being the guy to explain why we're not on national television on any given day, because I don't know. Who should they ask? I'm not saying that you are, but I know it's not me.
Right.
Who should it be?
No, for sure. For sure. Probably flood the switchboard at Game Plus, because then that'll go a long way for making sure our show stays on the air, I think. Let them know.
Fair enough. I don't have the answers. I'm just trying to do a show sometimes on my own, sometimes not. Can we hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Jordan? So I noticed TSN Sports Center opened up with a Thursday night football game, but we are not. I actually had Thursday night's NHL games highlighted as my first point, but then breaking news this morning coming out of Winnipeg. We got to talk about this, and hello to everybody in Winnipeg watching for a reaction. I want your comments in the comment section here. The 902 text line is very popular with Winnipeg viewers of our show. Paul Maurice has resigned as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. The team announced it this morning. Dave Lowry assuming the head coaching duties on an interim basis. Maurice was scheduled to speak on his decision later on Friday. I'm reading that because that's been updated. He did speak, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Pomo, as he's lovingly known, was in his 9th season as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, having guided the team to the playoffs in each of the past 4 years, and 5 times overall. They're currently 5th in the Central Division, 3 points back of the Oilers for the final wildcard spot in the Western Conference. The 54-year-old head coach, can you believe this, Darren, is in his 24th season as an NHL head coach. So it's been a busy morning for us. You and I have appeared on 2 Zoom calls already, not the least of which a lot of other calls. But I sent some messages out to my friends in Winnipeg, hockey people. I said, what's the deal with Pomo? They're like, we don't know. This literally seems like it came out of the blue. But they said, tune in to CJOB at 11 a.m. Central. They'll have the Pomo news conference from Canada Life Center. So I did, and I listened. And I'm not sure if you were able to listen to it or not, but Darren Dreger said these were for personal reasons. This was leading up to the news conference with Paul Maurice this morning. And after listening to him, I guess it is personal reasons. He said the team needed a new voice. He said he's lost his passion for coaching the Winnipeg Jets. And now the reaction that's come out, and it's been an hour. I want to hear from Winnipeggers. Do you believe Paul Maurice in that? I've interviewed him. I've been around Paul Maurice. I'm a big fan of Paul Maurice. I guess I want to believe that if he's telling us something at the podium at Canada Life Center, that we can believe it. He just doesn't want to coach maybe anymore at all, but for sure the Winnipeg Jets. Darren, and those are the highlights of what he said. 100% his decision. He wasn't told to resign by the general manager, Kevin Cheveldayoff, or the owner, Mark Chipman. Paul Maurice done as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. His heart isn't in it anymore. How do we feel about that?
It's a tough day. They got to play tonight, right? It's a tough day.
Yeah.
And Dave Lowry is going to step in behind the bench as the interim head coach. I listened to it. I watched it on Sportsnet. I watched the press conference as it was happening live. And he talked about the law of diminishing return, right? He talked about the law of diminishing returns, where you push buttons and at the beginning, you get this much out of the guys. You get a reaction. When you push those same buttons 8-9 years later, the reaction you get out of them is so much smaller. And he talks about guys who've been around that long coaching, and you can survive when you've won a couple of times, right? Well, they haven't won a cup in Winnipeg, and that makes it a lot more difficult. And he's like, look, at those buttons that I'm pushing just aren't working anymore. They need a new voice here. It's been long enough. I know it. The team kind of can feel it, even though if they won't admit it. They need a new voice, and this is what's going to help them move forward. He said he's really proud that he brought this team from a bottom 10 team and made him a top 10 team in the NHL. But it's been a long time, and when you can't get over the hump, eventually that same message wears out. And he's a coach who knows, who's very self-aware, which I respect. And so it was an emotional news conference for him.
Yeah, well, who knows if Dave Lowry stays the head coach? It's because it's going to depend on the success that he's had. But I mean, Dave Lowry's been a long-time assistant coach in the NHL. He's had success in the Western Hockey League as a head coach. So we'll see where it goes. But just from our viewers, from Jaden St. Hilaire says, I believe it. He'll probably stay in Winnipeg. From John Ohm. Oh, here come the comments. I like crazy. He goes, Paul is the real deal. I believe in Paul and his words. From my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat, she says, maybe he has health issues. No, I don't believe he does. We just said what he said. So. No, if he'd had health issues, he probably would have said that he had health issues. Please listen to what we're saying. We're conveying what he's saying. The question is, do we believe him? And I think we're all agreeing that we do believe him. His heart is not in coaching the Winnipeg Jets anymore. He's lost his passion. He said, to go further, if you watch it, then you know what I'm talking about, Darren. He said it was a great day the day he was hired as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. A great day. And he said, today's a great day, too. I'm no longer the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. I mean, I don't think people understand the stress and the pressure that's under these guys as head coaches of any teams, but particularly professional teams. Carrie, watching on YouTube, says, listening to Chevy's news conference, it almost sounded like he was getting frustrated with the moves he made this season and the lack of him playing the young kids had some factor to do. Well, you know what? Maybe they weren't getting along, Kevin Cheveldayoff, the general manager, and Paul Maurice. Maybe that goes into him not having fun anymore. How many of us have gone into work every day and lost our passion because we don't agree with the people that we're answering to? So it is an interesting day. Paul Maurice is no longer the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. And as you said, they are playing tonight. They've got the Washington Capitals in there tonight. So they need a new voice. And the more I think about it, and us talking back and forth is a very honorable thing for Paul Maurice to do, because it's very difficult to leave a job, even if your heart's not into it. Trust me, I know. This isn't one of those jobs, but I've been in that position. And Darren, I know you have too. Anyways, so that's our take on that. We enjoy hearing from the Winnipeggers. Let's move on. Ryan in Saratoga, New York says, bowl season starts today. Happy bowling season, everyone. 43 bowl games. Go to usatoday.com. I was just reading this morning a wonderful breakdown on all of them. And I'm just going to tell you my history on this, and then I'll get back on track. It's funny that he says that, happy bowl season. Because everybody's coming down where I am. All the football guys are coming into town for the Boca Raton Bowl, which is Saturday, 11 a.m. And what is it? Western Kentucky versus Appalachian State. Scouts are coming in. And then the Dolphins got the Jets here on Sunday. You overheard me on the phone to Bob earlier on this morning talking about there's so much to do here, just from a football perspective. And the guys are like, hey, we're meeting at Joey's tonight. And I'm going to go meet them at Joey's, but they're like, it's going to get wild. And I said, not for me. I'm going early and then I'm leaving. But the football guys are descending in town. As I said to you on the phone earlier, it's like I'm starting my whole life earlier, over again. Like 25 years ago in the CFL, I'd have been the last guy to leave a night like tonight.
Right.
I'll be the first guy to leave tonight, and just trying to decide how things are going to go. So everybody's excited. And Florida is like the bowl capital. So all the football people are here. And I'm just so happy that they are some new friends, some old friends, and we're all going to be getting together. Thursday Night Football, point two. Travis Kelce scored on a 34-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes in overtime, and the Kansas City Chiefs rallied for a 34-28 victory over the Los Angeles Chargers. Kelce caught a tying 7-yard touchdown pass with 1:17 to go in the fourth quarter, then ended the game with his catch and run in overtime, and that was truly very exciting. Moving on to point three. This isn't breaking news, but I want your take on it. It's official. Super Bowl 58 is headed to Las Vegas. Raiders owner Mark Davis made the announcement. It was Wednesday they announced it, but the sport's biggest spectacle will be held inside Allegiant Stadium, the home of the Raiders, February 11th, 2024. The Raiders are thrilled, says Mark Davis, their owner, that the NFL has selected Vegas to host Super Bowl 58, hosting the 2022 Pro Bowl, 2022 NFL Draft, and now the 2024 Super Bowl are just some of the ancillary benefits resulting from the public-private partnership we created with the state of Nevada to bring the Raiders to Las Vegas and build Allegiant Stadium. It's only the beginning, but for now, Las Vegas, the Super Bowl is coming to the sports and entertainment capital of the world. We never talked about it Wednesday or Thursday when the announcement was made. Right. So how do you feel about them apples, Moose? I kind of feel like we need to be there.
Well, and we probably will be. I mean, I think it's awesome. I think it's really, really awesome. That's what the vision was for Vegas, right? Was that all these events are going to come into town, and we're going to start to. And I know why the leagues were kind of scared of it, but betting in sports has kind of just become more mainstream. And the taboo nature of it is kind of going away. Responsible gaming is moving to the forefront, and so Vegas has always been a place where people gather for the Super Bowl. Now they'll be able to gather in Vegas and actually go to the game. So it's going to be great. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And I think we've already announced that we're going to be at this year's Super Bowl in Los Angeles. And the plan is to be at Super Bowl every year. At what point do you want to make our announcement? We're not making the Super Bowl announcement today. You want to do it next segment, our announcement? Let's open it up.
Let's do it. Let's do it in hour two. Let's keep people on the hook till the beginning of hour two.
Okay, cool. You're the boss. Moving on to point four. We have several things here, but point four, I just want to say National Lacrosse League. Who else is talking about the NLL in daytime sports talk? The answer is nobody. There are 3 games tonight: Colorado at Fort Worth, San Diego at Calgary, and the Saskatchewan Rush are at the Vancouver Warriors. I read the game notes, Rush. Saskatchewan's won 8 consecutive games versus the Vancouver Warriors, but Vancouver's 2-0 going into the game. Saskatchewan is 0-2. Darren, you are a broadcaster for the Saskatchewan Rush, so might I ask, is this your featured game tonight, Saskatchewan and Vancouver in the NLL?
I'll be paying attention for sure. As enticing as the Bahamas Bowl is tonight, I'll be watching the Rush game. I'll be paying attention to that one for sure. It's a good game. The Rush are 0-2, but they deserve better. I mean, an overtime loss and a 1-goal loss to Calgary, the OT loss in Halifax. This is a statement game for the Rush. Can they deal with the adversity, and can they take on a really good Vancouver team in Langley? So that'll be fun tonight.
Yeah, pointing out NLL games. I think that's very important that we do that because we are big NLL fans. To point 5, Baker Mayfield. The Cleveland Browns are currently being leveled by COVID-19 as a total of 20 players have tested positive this week, which puts their status for Saturday's matchup against those Vegas Raiders in question. The latest group to land the COVID-19 list includes quarterback Case Keenum, who joins Baker Mayfield after he was sidelined earlier this week due to a positive test. That means third stringer Nick Mullins is the starting quarterback for the Browns in Week 15. As this outbreak continues to hit the organization, Baker took to social media to relay his discontent with how the NFL has handled the situation. Mayfield questioned the league's stance on player safety as he said on his Twitter, actually caring about player safety would mean delaying the game with this continuing at the rate it is. But to say you won't test vaccinated players if they don't have symptoms, then to pull this randomly doesn't make any sense to me, unquote. At this point, the NFL has shown no indication that rescheduling or canceling Saturday's game is even on the table. Hang on, Darren. We'll get into all of that in the next segment. Okay, reaction to all of this. But how my life has changed, and I think for the better and the more exciting, is my 6th and final point on this FlameTech Football Friday. And I never thought I would be reading these results on the Rod Pedersen Show, but here we are. From footballhotbed.com, Fort Lauderdale High School Cardinal Gibbons went into Thursday's matchup looking to win back-to-back championships for the first time in school history. And history was made Thursday night at DRV PNK Stadium. Cardinal Gibbons became the 4th Broward County school to win back-to-back state championships with a 21-19 win over Cocoa. Junior running back Kamari Moulton had 28 carries for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns to power his team to victory. Gibbons is coached by former Toronto Argonaut Matt DeBuck, who I talked to on the phone this week, the former roommate of Jeremy O'Day with those Toronto Argonauts. Everything is all connected. And here's the thing. When I mentioned we're getting together tonight with the football guys in advance of the Boca Raton Bowl, the guys are like, are you going to watch Matt DeBuck's team Thursday night? I'm like, no, I can't do everything. I'm glad that I put my foot down and said, I'm only going to do one live event a week. Darren, there is so much to do. So people can talk about the bigger population and drawing for sporting events in areas like this and all over America or even the major centers in Canada. But there's so many other things to do. Very competitive marketplace in these major centers. When I look at the WHL, the NLL, CFL that are struggling with attendance issues, there's not as much to do. Certainly not in Saskatchewan, I can tell you that. And dare I say Winnipeg and at times Calgary and Edmonton. Man, the game was on television. I watched it for a high school state championship game. Now, that's not that crazy and out of line because when you think about you and I broadcast SJHL championship games and WHL championship games, it's just as important here as the hockey is in Canada. But my God, I didn't realize there's this much to do. And as Chris Jones said to me this week, I was talking to Chris Jones, football's a small world. When am I going to get you down here to visit, man?
I know. And to go to these games, I would have been at the game last night. It would have been awesome. That's the thing. You know, there's so much more to do. I get it. But the biggest difference now, you know, that used to be happening in Florida and we'd have the high school, you know, stuff happening in Saskatchewan. The difference is that's happening in Florida and we all can watch it on TV or streaming or wherever it is. So not only do we have the sports in our backyard competing for our money and attention, but we got all this on television and streaming competing for our eyeballs too. So it's hard. There's not enough time in the day.
Well, yeah, as a friend of mine said to me yesterday, how's it going with the assimilating the show to Florida? I said, it's going fast. When we come back, our big announcement, and we'll get the viewers' take on all of these things. We'll open up Taco Time viewer takeover early, and don't forget, we're going to announce the comment of the week as well, which right now I'm not sure that I have the winner designated yet. So we'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might hit your head. That could cause a traumatic brain injury that, depending on how severe it is, could take months to heal or leave you with long-term effects. Effects like getting debilitating headaches for the rest of your life. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
I started the Shatler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I am proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It is a FlameTech Football Friday, and welcome back to the program every day. And as I say, feeling very charitable today, we're going to open it up to all the viewer topics. Viewer comments on our topics, because Moose, that makes it a lot easier on us, as you know, and it's so much fun for everybody. FlameTech is your locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. By the way, there is huge Breaking news today out of the National Hockey League. Paul Maurice has resigned as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Held a news conference this morning and said that his heart isn't in it anymore. He's lost his passion. They need a new voice, and that new voice will be Dave Lowry when the Winnipeg Jets face off tonight at home to the Washington Capitals, which are habitually one of my top 5 NHL teams. So I want to hear from the Winnipeggers your thoughts on the news. Does Paul Maurice, did he deserve to go? They're out of a playoff spot as it stands right now. By the way, tough tribe for men. How's my flow today, Darren? You know, when you leave the salon, it's never quite the same as when she did it, or he did it.
I know.
I had to do it myself.
But it's good.
How's it look?
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. You did well.
Tough tribe for men contains aloe vera, botanicals, and antioxidants traditionally known for their scalp and hair benefits. We love our men. Welcome to the Tough Tribe. Available today at toughtribeformen.com. That's the number 4, toughtribeformen.com. Order yours there. Also Amazon Canada, and coming soon to a salon near you. Before we do turn it over to all the viewers on the football-related topics, because we haven't got to the poll question yet, we've been teasing all week the big announcement. Because you are the boss, I'll hand it over to you for our big what's in store in the new year for the RP show.
Yeah, it's exciting. We are going to be taking our show on the road to Calgary in a wonderful partnership with the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in Calgary. Our show is going to be live from their resort and their facility for select shows in January and February as part of a wonderful partnership that we're excited about.
Absolutely, we're going to be broadcasting live.
Yeah, live from the whole resort, spending some real time in the market, getting to connect with people and fans in the marketplace. So it's going to be tremendously exciting for the viewers that are watching the show. Nothing's going to change. I mean, Rod's in Florida. I'm in Regina today. We've been all over, but this is an opportunity to build another great relationship, and we're really excited about the partnership that's being built.
Yeah, RP show going live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. I believe it's 54 nights live, or days broadcasting live from the Grey Eagle. So we'll be at a lot of Flames games. We'll be doing a lot of Stampeders coverage, and we're very exciting coming your way. If I had the bell, I would be ringing it, and I see that you're not in the bunker, so you can't either. But hey, can we hit a horn? If you got something, let's hit the show horn. Hit some sort of horn, because this is really big news. There you go. Craig Drebbett writes in and says, "Oh, hell yes." From Jason and Red Deer. "Oh, a residency. Calgary is the new Las Vegas." There's a lot of that. We want to sort of be like Canada's version of those Vegas casino residencies. That's exactly what we're doing. So, yes, it is very exciting. Go ahead, Moose.
Let's go.
You are Wayne Newton of the prairies.
Absolutely. There's no, I would prefer. How about Canada's Britney Spears? Can we say that?
Sure.
Brett Thompson says, was just at the Grey Eagle the end of November. It's a wonderful place. And somebody was asking us this morning in one of our Zoom calls with another sponsor how this was born. And it has to do with going to Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' event at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in, when was that? September, Moose? And that was all your idea to go out there. So that's pretty exciting. Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in and says, if you are in Calgary, you should drop by McMahon Stadium Saturday morning for the annual Stampeders locker room sale. Game-worn merchandise for sale and 35% off items in the Stamp store. Well, thank you, Jeff, for that. And before I move on to any of the other topics that we have today, let's get to the poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Holy smokes, did we get off track on a FlameTech Football Friday. But the poll question is this: should the CFL change any of its rules? Just to get back on track with this FlameTech Football Friday. Last I looked on both Twitter and Facebook, there were over 60 and over 70%. No, they should not. Clark's telling me now it's 50-50. But Moose, let's bring him back in. I mean, I'm hockey number one, football number two. You are football number one, hockey number two. But we love them both. But yeah, I don't think you ever really know the rules unless you played it, reffed it, coached it, and you've done all those things. I have not.
That's right.
But it's a pretty wide open, broad question. Like Clark is like, did you want to get into any specific rules? I'm like, nope, yes or no. And just let the comments go wild. And that's exactly what's happened on Twitter. And that's what I would like to see happen here. Because They will probably change something. I mean, honestly, if Randy Ambrosie said at the State of the Union, which is already 1 week ago today, can you believe that?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, Ambrose, he talked that they would kick over every rock and look at every rule. And I'm just like, if they say they're going to do it, they're probably going to do it. But I think that it's been too much. Like, because what happens, you see the lowest scoring year since 1974 in the Canadian Football League, and all of a sudden everybody wants to panic. Now, there's nothing that you say or I say that's going to change. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And it's not just a CFL thing. We live in a knee-jerk society thing. Oh, the analytics say this. We got to do this. Is there any chance that it was a one-off, that it was an anomaly, and that it was because of 1 year off of football? I don't know. But my vote was no. The rules don't need to change at all. Sure, there are some minor things, and I've seen what the people are saying. Get rid of the no yards and institute the fair catch. Get rid of this and that. Change the kickoff rule to the XFL rule. I probably would be in favor of some of that. But overall, if you're asking me yes or no, I'm saying no. What are you voting?
Yeah, I'm saying no as well. Look, it's a big problem that I have. People want to blame other people all the time when there's problems, right? So when the league has a tough year and scoring's down, it's because the game sucks. The rules suck. Get rid of this rule, get rid of that rule. If we played 4 downs, there'd be more scoring. And then when the games are good and it's exciting and we have the greatest game in the wild last 3 minutes and no lead is safe, but it's the players that are good. It's not the game that's good. It's the players that are exciting and great then, right? The game is fine. The game is great. It's exciting. The rules are conducive to the bigger field. And, if I thought some people might say, let's just get rid of the Rouge. But I don't even think we should get rid of that. If I was going to make one tweak, the only tweak I would make to the entire thing is no Rouge for a missed field goal that goes out the back of the end zone. Like on a kickoff, it goes out the back. You don't get a single point for that. If you choose to give up the point, or you can pin them on special teams in the end zone, or even on a missed field goal that stays in the end zone, that they don't run it out. But that's the only rule change I would make, but I'd be voting no.
That's a good one, but I'm loving the comments from our viewers here right now, and I knew that this would get them going on a FlameTech Football Friday. Where do I start? Carlos in Indianapolis says the NFL needs more rule changes than the CFL does. Tacona Powley says changing the rules to be more like it's Brett Thompson. He says changing the rules to be more like the NFL is not going to make the CFL more successful like the NFL. Craig Campbell goes on to say from the Hockey Hall of Fame, I'm not a fan of the missed field goal through the end zone for a single point, but if a player catches the ball and concedes, that's okay, which is what you're saying. Dallas Bergen's watching in Toronto. He says teams are playing all of their nationals on defense, which is affecting scoring. How about mandating 2 nationals on defense at all times? Hey, I'm willing to listen to any of these. And I do think, as I started this preamble by saying, if they say they're going to do it, they're probably going to do it. I just don't like that. Jack in Alberta says, I used to listen to Jim Rome. Since tuning into the RP show, I don't even remember what Jim Rome looks like. RP show is the most informative daytime sports show live in North America. I'll see you in YYC. That's right. If you missed it earlier on in this segment, we're announced that we will be broadcasting live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino beginning in January into February. We have a residency. And as far as I know, it will be before a live studio audience, which I think people are very excited about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, just on that.
Yep.
I think it's exciting. I think, I wanted to let the Calgary people know that, yes, the variant's doing its thing, and we're going to be following what Alberta is doing in the health and safety protocols, but we're going to look at ways where you guys can come and girls can come and watch the show, hopefully, and we'll get a chance to meet you, hopefully, in our time in Calgary. So don't worry, we're gonna look at that.
Very big day. Very, very big day here for the RP show. Moose, I guess I'll let you step aside and bring you back for hour 2. What say you?
Sounds great.
Because I know you got important calls to make and do your thing. We'll see you back here in hour 2. I'll just read a couple text messages before we bring in our next guest, Natey Adjei, Toronto Argonauts broadcaster. Kenny Gill is watching in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and he texts into the show on the 902 line, and he says, after hearing Ambrosi and the rumors last week, it makes me wonder, did the CFL listen to the XFL and then say, no, thank you? Then after the XFL left the room, Ambrosi said to CFL owners, let's implement everything they suggested. Oh, boy, Kenny. I would initially say no, but the more you talk, I've seen it happen so many times where, yeah, everything you say is stupid. And then they go and steal all the ideas. I actually had that happen to me. So there's a very good chance of that happening. Jim Wagner watching in Balgoni. He says, hello, all. I took my son for the first time, his first time, to Taco Time. It was a burrito full day. Easy for me to say. How about that? Great week of shows. Thanks, crew. From Jim Wagner. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for taking your son to Taco Time. I think I'm going to make the announcement. Do you know who I'm going to announce, Clark, as the comment of the week? You probably don't. I did. It was on Monday. Do you have them saved, or should I save it for later on? He doesn't immediately have it. So hang on. Hold on to your bingo cards. We're going to take a time out and come back with Natey Adjei. And maybe later on this hour, we'll announce the $50 taco card winner for the comment of the week. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show, a FlameTech Football Friday on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feel in the air. It's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
FlameTech Football Friday continues. Breaking news today, though, from the hockey world. Paul Maurice stepping down as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, replaced by Dave Lowry. The Jets are home tonight to the Washington Capitals. Paul Maurice saying that the team needs a new voice and he does not have the passion any longer for the position. And big news from this show, the RP show is going to Calgary. We'll be broadcasting live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in a residency in the months of January and February. Ron Thompson's watching and text the 902 line. He says, so glad you're coming to Calgary. He said, for any changes in CFL, they could possibly try a change or two during the preseason. Small changes to start. No rouge on a missed field goal and 4 downs. Let's taco about it. Ooh, from Ron in Calgary, trying to get that comment of the week for taco time. Let's bring in Natey Adjei now, CFL veteran, former Eskimo, Argo, and for a time a Montreal Alouette. How you doing, Natey? Happy Friday.
I'm doing fantastic. I just want to say happy belated birthday, Rod.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. I survived another one today. Thank you. Hey, listen, I don't know. Listen, congratulations to you, by the way, to being added to the Raptors broadcast too. That's the thing that's burning in my mind the most right now. What is going on there? Kudos, my man. Huh? What's going on?
Man, I've been really fortunate and blessed that the people higher up think I'm qualified enough to do these great jobs. Honestly, I couldn't imagine. Obviously, leaving football, I always thought I'm a sports guy. I like all sports, especially football, baseball, basketball. It'd be really cool to cover some of these sports, go to these events, talk about these events, because all day long with all my friends, all I do is talk about sports, right? So to get the opportunity to be at the events and broadcasting and talking about things that I'm seeing and things that I can relate to from a professional standpoint has been really cool. And I know in my head, I know we all watched The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, and I was always enamored with Ahmad Rashad. I'm like, this guy used to play football. Now he's hanging around the basketball courts, best friends with the greatest player of all time. I'm like, I want his job. Like that's my guy. So I'm kind of putting my footsteps down and trying to live that a little bit. So that's what I see, Rod.
I am extremely proud of you. I've watched this from the start, and I do watch TSN Sports Center down here in South Florida every day. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on there even more, and you do deserve it. Now, to the football talk, our poll question today is: does the CFL need to make any changes for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center? And the majority of people saying no, it does not. I don't know if you saw the commissioner saying they're going to look at changes to the game. What would you answer to that? And if yes, what would it be?
So interesting. So I was doing the Grey Cup, and he ended up coming into our booth, the radio booth, to talk about some of the changes that they're thinking about making. And when he was asked the question about going to 4 downs, and the report had come out from Dave Naylor, he said, you know what, we're looking at everything. We're looking at everything on ways to grow the game and make the game more attractive to more viewers, younger viewers. And I looked at that and I thought, okay, I appreciate that they're doing that. They're trying to make the game more attractive, because that's the big thing, right? We want more eyeballs watching the CFL, attract younger viewers, bringing more betting so more people are locked into these games, right? But I'm not sure 4 downs is the way to go. I mean, that's the fabric of the CFL. That's what makes the CFL great. I don't think the downs is the reason why people aren't watching. There's numerous other reasons why people aren't watching the CFL football. And I always think about this. So the CFL is closer to the NFL than the MLS is to like English Premier League football, right? Soccer, and that they call it in overseas. Why isn't the CFL as popular as the MLS is, right? So they've got to figure out why the younger generation isn't gravitating towards football the way they should be, because the talent level, like we both know, Rod, the talent level is really closer to the highest level of football than the MLS has to English Premier League. So they need to figure that out. But like tinkering with the downs and alienating fans that have been following the league for a long time is probably not the way to go. You want to try to include everyone in this next step that you're taking. And I think the 2 downs is too drastic of a change, and you may lose too many people towards the goal that you're trying to get to.
They're going to do what they're going to do, but I'm going to tell you what I think. The game is fine. I've said it for years. This is no position that I'm taking here, no new position. The CFL game is fine. It's why we love it. It's what you and I are doing right now that needs more hype. I'm going to be going to the Orange Bowl. There will be 85,000 people at it, Nate. And it's Georgia, Michigan, as you know, $500 a ticket to start in the nosebleeds. You turn on sports talk radio down here, 90% is college football. They've got the NFL, obviously, NBA and NHL. They don't talk about it. It's all college. That's what they need to do, is getting their people out and get talking about it, but they want to keep it a secret in the offseason. So I'm done with it. Why they think they need to fiddle with the actual on-field product, I have no idea. Now, moving on, you covered the Argos all year, broadcast their games. Were you surprised they did not get to the Grey Cup? Take me into that East Final weekend, if you don't mind. The craziness with Macbeth, and they had the lead at halftime and blew it. And then the fracas after the game. My God, Natey, tell me it all.
Yeah, a lot went on with that East Final weekend. And obviously, you talked about it. It started with, Macbeth going to the Raptors game. But, for him, he was asked to go, right? So, and, we thought society had moved on with, what the protocols is. Because a lot of those rules that were made in the CFL was made before people had vaccine passports, and we were getting large gatherings again. So I mean, the fact that he was at the game was no problem to me. Everybody that was at the game needed to be vaccinated, and so he was probably safer at that game than being on a football field, because we know there are some players that aren't vaccinated, right? So that was no problem with me. It was made into a bigger deal because it was the eve of a East Final, but that the game was what really got to me, because the Argos really controlled that game, and they had a 12-0 lead at 3 possessions into the red zone, only came away with 9 points, right? So that was the big issue right there. Obviously, Jagger Davis makes an unbelievable play on Foster in the back of the end zone, where those are the kind of plays that you need if you're going to win a playoff game. And if you go into the red zone 3 times and you only come away with 9 points, and you're kind of doing it to yourself, right? So obviously, Hamilton is able to get that big punt return by Poppy White that really springboards them, because you saw once that happened, their whole bench was alive. The crowd, they were really quiet. They were dead. They were ready to leave. They came alive. The coaches started getting more aggressive, and obviously they had pulled Dane Masoli right before that. But in my opinion, I thought any quarterback that was in there probably would have been able to get the job done, just because of the way the crowd and the players were feeding into the momentum. Once they got the momentum train rolling, it was almost over. And Hamilton is a team that feeds off of momentum, feeds off of big plays. Like you saw in the Montreal game, once they started getting turnovers, it was all downhill for Montreal. So it played up to their MO. And then after the game, I mean, it was madness. And I saw, I was in the booth, but I just seen police officers running over to the Argos where their dressing room was. I had no idea what was going on because we were shielded. But then to see the scenes and the photos after the game, it's a terrible look. Not for the league really, but you should never have fans running onto an area where players are going to be, especially after a loss. Like nothing good is going to happen after that. And obviously, things that happened with our GM Murphy is unfortunate to see. He was obviously trying to protect his guys, and he obviously used language that we cannot use and isn't something that you want to associate with the league, especially a league that's inclusive. So you could see that happening as well. And it was just a madhouse, and it wasn't the greatest of days for the Argos. Obviously, if we would have won, it would have been a different story. But that's the way it goes. I thought, the team that played a complete game that day deserved to win.
Yeah. Hey, we only got 60 seconds, but I got to ask you this. Did Tim White conceding the single with 2 minutes to go in the Grey Cup cost the Ticats the win?
It's tough to say because I don't know if he was instructed to do that. It looked like he was instructed to do it. He didn't look like he was acting on his own. So I wouldn't say he caught, whoever told him to cost him the Grey Cup, because you never want to give up points. You never want to, especially because obviously the wind was unbelievable and you could see why they'd want the field position and they hadn't been moving the ball the whole entire time. But you never want to give up points. I personally, if I was on the team, I would have hated it. I would have been upset because you looked at the end result, and sometimes we play the end result too much. But in that kind of situation, you never want to give up points. You would trust your team to get those yards and kick the game-winning field goal.
For sure. Natey, thanks for this. It's been awesome. A short time, but a great time. Have a great weekend, and let's do it again soon. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Enjoy your birthday. It's birthday week, Rod. Enjoy the entire week.
You got it. I plan on it. Thank you. I will. Natey Adjei of TSN joining us from Toronto. We'll be right back with Taco Time Viewer Takeover. Jeff Reinebold, Ticat special teams coordinator, coming up, by the way, in hour 2. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
Number 16, a legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might sprain your wrist, or even fracture it. A severe wrist fracture can take at least 2 months to heal properly. And it can cause you to develop arthritis that keeps you from doing something as simple as picking up your child without pain. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special. Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
All right, it is Taco Time viewer takeover, and I'm going to get as many comments in as possible here, but we got to talk about the breaking news from this morning as we look at the form of a sports update here from the hockey world. Paul Maurice has resigned as head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. The team made the announcement Friday morning, ending his tenure with the club after 9 seasons. Dave Lowry will serve as the team's interim head coach for the remainder of the season. GM Kevin Cheveldayoff confirmed. Maurice, who was signed through this season with an option for next year, said this morning at a news conference at Canada Life Centre the players needed a new voice in the room. And he said, quote, "This is a good team. I'm a good coach. But sometimes you can only push so far. Sometimes a team needs a new voice. They haven't quit on me, but need a different voice. It's the right time for it, and I know that." And so we respect Paul Maurice. Thank you for his service with the Winnipeg Jets. And they move on, and they have the Washington Capitals in town tonight. By the way, there were no fans at Bell Center last night to cheer when Jonathan Drouin scored the shootout winner for the hometown Canadiens. Drouin's goal lifted Montreal over Philadelphia 3-2 in an empty arena after Quebec public health officials asked the Habs to play without any fans in attendance. The request was made to try and slow the spread of COVID-19 in the province. Elsewhere, Brock Besser had a pair of goals as the Canucks earned a 5-2 victory in San Jose. That was the 6th in a row under Bruce Boudreau. Also, Victor Hedman had a goal and a helper as Tampa Bay topped the Senators 2-1. Jesse Puljujarvi scored twice and added an assist as the Oilers snapped a 6-game skid with a 5-2 win over Columbus. Derek Ryan, Brendan Perlini, and Warren Fogle also scored for the Oilers, who ended a 5-game slide at home. And the Kansas City Chiefs are closer to another AFC West title after outlasting the LA Chargers on Thursday Night Football in overtime. Travis Kelce scored on a 34-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes in OT to send the Chiefs past the Chargers 34-28. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. See if producer Clark has it. And that is the comment of the week. We're going to do it right now for Taco Time. And it comes from Craig in Calgary, who has already commented today, but it goes way back to Monday. And it was a moment when we were having some strife. I don't know what the argument was or why. Tell me you have it handy, Clark. Where is it? There we go. There it is. Winner Craig Drebbett from Calgary. He says, "Can't we just agree that 4 tacos is better than 3 tacos?" Boom. 5 straight days, I haven't seen anything better than that. Craig Drebbett, we're sending you a $50 gift card from Taco Time. Please spend it wisely, but don't necessarily spend it all in one place. From Taco Time, did you know Taco Time has been around for 40 years in Canada? This iconic brand and a Canadian favorite serves over 3.2 million burritos, 2.5 million tacos, and over 1 million Mexi fries every year. So we'll continue with the viewer comments in hour 2. The Moose will rejoin us, and Jeff Reinebold of the Hamilton Tiger Cats as well. Stick around. Hour 2 coming up.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics, Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A Landmark Cinemas $30 gift card with $40 in great movie savings is the perfect gift to give, or give to yourself. Get yours today in theater or online at landmarkcinemas.com and make it a merry movie season. Landmark Cinemas, for movie lovers.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Now,
listen, I know that I'm a stickler for details. I come from the old school, learned it from my dad, and I know our next guest, Bill Chow's from the old school. I've heard in past places that I've worked that I wasn't that well liked, because guess what? I held people accountable. And also, guess what? We won!
How about that?
Details, details, details. Details win, details lose. Are you winning now?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It's hour 2 of the RP Show, everybody. A real hot FlameTech Football Friday we got on the go for you. Hour 2 of the Rod Pedersen Show is brought to you daily by Original 16 and the new Canadian Ultra Lager from Original 16, by the way, with only 80 calories. You can feel great drinking it anytime as we bring the Moose back into the program, and we're going to bring the viewers in for the rest of the way here in hour 2. Darren Moose DuPont, just want to mention FlameTech is our Friday sponsor. FlameTech, locally owned and operated, industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. We've got a CFL discussion to get to. Obviously, bowl season is upon us. The Cure Bowl goes tonight. The Bahamas Bowl is underway. They're in the first half, by the way. So there's that. The breaking news in the sports world is that Paul Maurice resigning Friday morning as the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, saying that the team needs a new voice. He's lost his passion for it, and the Jets just happened tonight to be home to the Washington Capitals. And, hey, all good things come to an end. Everything has a shelf life. And just to tie this all in, Darren, this show eventually will have a shelf life. This show will eventually come to an end. But we're nowhere near that. We're in year 3. And back in hour 1, we announced that coming up in January, we are moving the show to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in Calgary for a residency, several days and nights at the Grey Eagle. So it's very exciting that we're growing. But what a Friday, huh? Where's your head at, man? What are you thinking about out of all those things? What are you thinking?
I know. My head's all over the place because there's so much going on. It's hard for you to say that and say, look, at this show will have a shelf life and it's only going to last as long as it's going to last. But you know what? That's the fact. And everybody wants to have their head in the clouds and think it's never going to end. We're just going to do this forever. But the fact is, it's not always the case. Now, don't panic, everybody. Nothing said. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. There is no planning for that. But no, my head's in that. It's funny. I saw the game was on the Bahamas Bowl. I've actually got it on over here. Which is cool. It's in that. It's in the NFL this weekend. It's in the NHL. It's in our trip to Calgary next year. It's going to be exciting. There's so much going on.
Yeah. And when I said that we are going to bring in our viewers, I'm serious. We did announce the Taco Time comment of the week, by the way. It was from Craig Drebbett in Calgary, who said, can't we all just agree that 4 tacos are better than 3? It was a nice play on words with the Downs thing that's been going on in the Canadian Football League. But that's not to say we can't start next week's contest today. And so Buford, watching, says, why not 5, 6, 7 downs then? 3 downs is, was, always will be the CFL. And if I may, actually, we should settle in on an actual topic here for a second. This is, and what my biggest problem is with the CFL right now, which would probably surprise a lot of people. But remember that fan-controlled football league? I just heard from them the other day. They had 35,000 to 40,000 people watching on Twitch, okay? The fan-controlled football league last spring. And I'm watching the game, and I'm like, 5th down. I'm like, what? Like, they were all over the board. But in America, football's football. And they don't care about whose balls are bigger or downs. They just want to watch football. Free Oleg watching in Winnipeg says the CFL is like the Tragically Hip. It doesn't have to be popular in the States to know that it's great. And that's probably true, but it just would be nice if the CFL made money. And I'm going to go back to just one more thing here with when I said what my personal pet peeve is with the CFL. It has nothing to do with rules at all. And for the benefit of our Hour 2 listeners here, just our poll question today has to do with the Canadian Football League. And it is, does the CFL need to change any rules at all for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, dealerships all across the prairies? On YouTube, Clark said the last report was 50-50. Last I looked on Twitter was about 70% no, the CFL doesn't have to change any rules. So if you bring Moose back in, I don't think that it does. But Darren, the CFL is colorful. It is. It always has been. And I think it needs to advertise its personalities and exploit, if you will, its personalities. It's on the talk shows. That's it. We've had Rod Smith on this show, who's now the #1 play-by-play voice of the CFL on TSN. He hosted that show. I can't even remember the name of it. They had it run for a couple weeks, and they pulled it, where he sat in a bar and interviewed Jim Pop and Chris Jones and Jim Barker sitting around a table. I could sit and watch that forever. I could sit and watch it forever. They aired each episode like one time, and then they pulled it. I don't even remember the name of it. Somebody want to tell me what the name was?
I know.
I've been sitting here subliminally trying to put it into people's heads now for several weeks that all I hear in the media here in South Florida is college football, college football, college football, college football. 90% of the talk on sports talk radio is college football. And social media too, because I got a notification from Twitter saying, seems that you've changed locations. Do you want us to update your settings? Because your timeline will switch from Canada to the South Florida. And I'm like, no, I don't want to change my settings. I want to know what's going on in Canada. But my point is, it's the talk. It's the hype. Why do you think 85,000 people are going to go to the Capital One Orange Bowl on New Year's Eve and pay $500 starting nosebleed, $2,000 lower bowl because of hype? And I've been talking about it for years. I'm tired of talking about it anymore. When the CFL says we want to go dark in the off season, and the first I remember hearing that was from Jeffrey Orridge as the commissioner, and I'm like begging the riders, because I was the voice of the riders at the time. I'm on my knees going, no. What do you mean, no? What do you mean you're going dark for 6 months? You're killing yourselves. Oh, you only want guys on your show for your own ratings. And I'm not sure they've moved past that way of thinking. Like you announce your season your schedule and you want to sell tickets. Where's the interviews? Where's the hype? Let's get people going. And they don't want to do interviews. And Rod, it's their off season. They shouldn't have to do interviews in their off season. Then don't. Screw you then. I'll go talk NHL, guys, if that's what you want. Because I don't really think that way of thinking has changed. That's my number one pet peeve with the Canadian Football League. Sorry. Rant over. Take it away.
Stamp it. I'm waiting for it. Look.
Wakey, wakey.
There it is. There it is. So, look at what we've done on the show. And the best example that I could say about not realizing the value of getting in front of people and going on shows, and not just shows. I mean, selfishly, we should put people on our show all the time. But, social media accounts and building a brand and going to events and being in front of people and doing interviews and everything else. The best example I could give you is Rod Black. Rod Black, from an outsider's perspective, is a super talented guy. Never met him, everything like that. But you see the social media rhetoric because he's always being compared to Chris Cuthbert or Jim Houston or Matt Devlin or whoever else he's doing games for, and kind of the whipping boy of the CFL. Comes on our show, and all of a sudden everybody loves him because you get to see his personality and you get to see what he's all about. And he's wearing a wig and he's having casual conversation. It's like, this guy I love. And then it's like, I can't wait to listen to Rod Black call a game. So then you're tuning in. It's like, Blackie is calling the game. I'm tweeting how great it is. Love that Rod Black's calling the game. And it builds because you start to like people. So then you start to appreciate them, right? If they had promoted Rod Black 10 years ago in this way, their network would have been more successful. He'd have been more successful. But instead, he starts promoting himself, and it's too late, though, because he's out the door now. So it's the same thing with the leagues, and they're going to do it when it's too late. But if you just put yourself in front of the camera, Cody Fajardo comes on our show, comes in on in front of the camera, and people love him, so they want to buy the jersey and the tickets. I thought this stuff was easy, but it does take work.
Oh, yeah, let's bring him on. Let's bring him on now. Jeff. Okay, can you log out, Darren?
Yes.
We're going to bring in Jeff Reinebold because he is boarding a flight. Do we want to take a commercial break, or are we going to bring him in now? Okay, we're going to take a commercial break and come back with the special teams coordinator of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Jeff Reinebold. I've got all these comments have come in. Oh, hang on to them. We'll come back. Hopefully we can remember them. You're watching the RP Show on YouTube live today. No Game Plus TV, but we'll be back on Game Plus on Monday and 24/7 Sports Radio at rodpedersen.com.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might hit your head. That could cause a traumatic brain injury that, depending on how severe it is, could take months to heal or leave you with long-term effects. Effects like getting debilitating headaches for the rest of your life. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. ADG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
A Landmark Cinemas $30 gift card with $40 in great movie savings is the perfect gift to give. Or give to yourself. Get yours today in theater or online at landmarkcinemas.com and make it a merry movie season. Landmark Cinemas, for movie lovers.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
All right, well, it has been a day. It's a FlameTech Football Friday, and I guess we don't have Jeff Reinebold ready to go. So what do we do now? Yeah, I got it. Taco Time, of course, brings you viewer takeover. Did you know Taco Time has been around for 40 years in Canada, this iconic brand and a Canadian favorite? Serves over 3.2 million burritos, 2.5 million tacos, and over 1 million Mexi fries every year. So, yeah, it's been interesting, as I said. I don't know where to start. I can sit here. Listen, why don't you entertain me with your comments, if you don't mind. I just heard or saw Jesse Pierce on Twitter in the break, when I was in the break. She was just with us the other day from NHL.com, and she covers the Minnesota Wild. She says, not confirmed, but Saturday's game between the Wild and the Florida Panthers in Mini, now in jeopardy. Can you imagine working in any of these sports leagues right now? And this is what I don't understand. COVID outbreaks aplenty in the National Football League. They're not rescheduling games, but they're putting players into COVID protocol. What about the junior leagues? What about the college games? I don't get it. And as a matter of fact, as we sit here right now, let me call this up. Today's games. The Bahamas Bowl is in the second quarter. Toledo leading Middle Tennessee State 14-7. No problems there. Tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern, in the Cure Bowl, it's Coastal Carolina versus Northern Illinois. And no problems there. Nobody's been able to tell me why. Is it just the big leagues, but not the minor leagues? We aren't seeing any COVID outbreaks or protocol in the Western Hockey League or the National Lacrosse League. Christine, my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat writes it and says, Robbie's Restaurant? Actually, it's not a restaurant, Chris. That's in the Florida Keys, where I'm heading back to tomorrow. But that's a spot where you can go on a fishing tour for the day, sea-doos for the day, jet ski, which I did the last time I was here in September, and also kayaking for the afternoon. Rented kayak for a couple hours. Did that. That's at Robbie's. Google it. So no, not a restaurant, but a very fun place. Jason in Red Deer says, now we taco about something else. How about the 2 crappy Blue Jackets penalties that the Oilers capitalized on to open the game last night? Stop it, Jason. I decide. Come on, I decide what we got. Randy from Cochrane, Alberta, writes in and says, Jeff Reinebold is a great coach and better person. Plays catch with the kids in the stands before the games. Jeff is a true ambassador for the CFL. And by the way, no, Jason and Red Deer, I'm being facetious, by the way. But you're a Flames fan. Let's not talk about chintzy penalties on Columbus because the Oilers won. They finally won. Let's be positive about that. Northside YEG watching in Edmonton says, give it a few weeks. Thank you for that. Right. So the big leagues are having their COVID outbreaks now, and just wait because COVID knows that it starts with the pros and then it goes to the amateurs. The virus knows. Gotcha. I'm getting an update. It's all good. Okay, thank you, Clark, for working on that. So we got the Moose back in here. There were connection issues with Jeff Reinebold at the airport, but he's on his way to Hawaii. He got called to the plane, and away it goes. Bob's your uncle. So
Bob's your uncle.
Hi, Moose.
Hi.
As it turned out, it's just been one of those days, right? But overall, a fantastic day.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going back to, again, from my cousin Chris, one of our biggest fans, and I appreciate that, Chris. She said it's tough to get news on the CFL and her part of the world, which, by the way, is Medicine Hat. And she goes on to say the CFL commercial on this show is the most advertising I ever see. And that, of course, is from Bet Regal. Craig Campbell from the Hockey Hall of Fame. We're jumping back into the conversation we had before you left. Is that okay?
Okay. That's perfect.
Craig Campbell from the Hockey Hall of Fame says, didn't Rod Smith do those interview segments to coincide with CFL week in March when they brought in the players? Yeah, he did. Why did they stop? So I think, we were talking about the shelf life of the show and all good things come to an end, and this show will come to an end at some point, but we're not forecasting that. We're not saying it's imminent. I mean, how long did Off the Record last? 9, 10 seasons or longer? Can somebody look that up? Go to the big board.
Longer.
I'm thinking this show, maybe this show 14, 15 years, and then we would be happy. But I mean,
that's a good career.
I miss Off the Record. We watched it religiously. Yeah. Tank Abbott watching in the Energy City. He's a big supporter, and he says the two teams in the NFL granted exclusive marketing to the Vikings and Seahawks in Canada. That's more than the CFL has done in 108 years. Bush League. So that's the thing. Habs for Life in Vancouver says, no, the show must go on. Well, we're only in year 3 of what I'm saying is 14 to 15 years. But again, how deep do we go on this, Darren? Because you and I talk for usually about an hour every day, if not longer. And I'm just getting a little frustrated because I've been telling, not with you, but with the viewers, I've been telling you exactly what I was getting. I've been telegraphing this for this show for years, but what I'm doing here for months. When I was here in Florida in September, I said, I'm coming back because the Florida Panthers have accredited me for the entire winter. Now I'm back and everybody's panicking. I had a CFL head coach text me the other day. We miss you in Canada. I'm like, really? Because I haven't heard from you in a year. And as a close friend of mine said yesterday, you're like the tree at the end of the street. People drive by it every day for 30 years. And all of a sudden the tree's gone. They're wondering, where did the tree go? Not my problem. So I'm tired of banging my head against the wall going, CFL, this is what we need. Whatever. You go do your thing. I'm going to go do my thing.
Yeah.
Because if they don't want to do those interviews and promote themselves and get out there, Rob Swallow watching on YouTube says the CFL seems to want money to magically appear without willing to invest in marketing of the game or its players. But hey, it's the off season. Yeah, I don't believe there is an off season. I'll shut up. I promise to shut up. I will now shut up. Do you believe there's an off season? Because I don't believe there's ever an off season. I don't.
There shouldn't be. I mean, your employees in the league office are being paid all year round, right? There shouldn't be. I mean, there is, especially when it comes to the fans going to the games and stuff. But that's when you start to tell those stories. You tell those stories about the teams and the players. And I think that's when you do the most media. You should do more media. It's annoying for players to do game day media and stuff. Now you got to do that stuff to sell the tickets during the week. But this is in the off season where you can get really close to them and you can have more access. Their guard is down a little bit. You can get better stories. This is where you catalog all that content to release during the year. The opportunities are just wild during the off season. But no, it's nuts. And on the coach, messaging you, I think that's cool. But it's a little different when, the relationships or the lifestyle you and I lead. Like, we're all over the place and nobody knows where we're going to be. Like, for the most part, people message me. They don't even know where I live, what city I live in, because it's like we're all over the place. Are you in Saskatoon now, Richard? Are you moved to Calgary, Vancouver, Florida? What are you doing? Right? But they watch every day. And for the coach, he's watching every day. So he feels like he's, sitting and having coffee with you every day and getting to know you every day just because he's watching the show. So
that's what he said. He goes,
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but he said that. He's like, no. I'm watching real closely and I see that you're not around. When are you coming back? I said, well, just keep watching. Sorry to interrupt. Dougal Cameron, Stampeders fan watching from Calgary, says, off the record was brilliant. Resurrected on your show. Dougal, we are.
How about that? Bingo!
Did anybody fact check that, by the way? How long off the record was on the air for?
Has anybody looked it up yet?
The show where we do the talking and the viewers do the research.
Right. Jack in Alberta says the CFL needs to do personal player interest interviews like they do during Grey Cup Sunday all year round. CFL TSN needs to produce a football life during the offseason, create interest and demand. I agree with that. I saw the article. I saw the segment on Brady Oliveira on him doing the dog rescue thing in northern Manitoba. I'm like, oh, now everybody loves Brady Oliveira. Again, where was that all year? What do you got, Clark? 1997 to 2015. So that's 18 years. What did I say? 14, 15? I said 9, 10 years. And then I said 14, 15. So I'm just saying squirrels here. What were you going to say?
Nothing.
I cut you off. You were going to say something and I apologize.
That was off the record. We were talking about that. Squirrels.
Right. Okay.
Squirrels.
Jason in Red Deer says,
think of it.
Jason's right. He goes, it's a catch-22. The CFL doesn't have the marketing to generate fan interest, but they don't have the revenue from fan interest to generate effective marketing. True, but it costs nothing to pick up the phone and text me or Clark or Darren and put somebody on this show. That don't cost any money. From some of our viewers, they missed our announcement. I see Leighton Janice says that Roger Yee in Calgary, and I don't mind this. Roger Yee watching in Calgary says, hey, Rod, sorry I missed the announcement today. I will rewatch later, but can you repeat? We absolutely can. Can you ring the show horn, please, Director Jordan? Get some noise going here. Beginning in January, mid-January, the Rod Pedersen Show is coming to Calgary. We're taking up a residency at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino with live shows from their foyer and various areas of the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in Calgary. Again, January, February, a residency. We're bringing the show on the road to Cowtown. Got it, Moose?
Oh, yeah. That's exciting. Roger, when you messaged in and guessed Calgary the other day, moved to Calgary, I'm like, how does he know? But
no,
great job.
I don't think he exactly said that.
No. He just said, you're moving the show to Calgary. We're not moving the show. It's a residency, which is going to be fun.
Clay Bombing's watching in Brandon. He says that Brady Oliveira piece was amazing. TSN should be running that all the time. Chris wants to know, is the casino right in Calgary? What would you say about that? It's like southwest of Calgary, just off Stony Plain.
Yeah,
correct.
It's not downtown Calgary, but yeah, it's in Calgary. Oh, absolutely. You're not. It's not no 20, 30, 40-minute drive outside the city.
It's beautiful. Sean in Vancouver. Just want to get into his text. He says, off the record, 1997 to 2015. So thank you. That's about probably 19 seasons. One of the lowest points of my life was my appearance on Off the Record. We won't go there. But how about this? Michael Landsberg, he won't mind us saying this, I don't think. One of his appearances on this show, he didn't ever even remember me being on, which is shocking because I was so bad. Like, I literally tanked that day. I remember walking out of the TSN studios. The other guests were Craig Button, Scott Laughlin, me, and Michael Landsberg. And Craig Button had put his arm around me, knowing that he's known me since I was 15. And he was like, "What's wrong, Rod?" I said, "I bombed." And he's like, "No, you didn't bomb." And I'm like, "Craig, you're just too nice. I bombed." And then Landsberg, when he came on this show and I brought this story up, he related like 3 weeks later, he had what would relate to a nervous breakdown, a mental breakdown. And it wasn't a great time for either one of us, off the record. Anyways.
Isn't that funny?
Brian.
Those stories come out.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you realize, you realize just, it's not all that it seems. You tell the funny story that you roll in there in the pinstripe suit and everybody thinks, Rod owns the world. And you leave there, people think he's owning the world. And you're left with a completely different perspective. And you leave thinking, man, that Michael Landsberg's a real asshole, taking, kind of like that. And he leaves being like having a nervous breakdown. So it's like you never know what somebody else is going through.
You never know what somebody else is going through. Brian, watching in Withrow, Alberta, says, "Gotta love the text jingle on the big screen at -31 in sunny Withrow, Alberta." Clark, do you have access to the text line? Can you snag that photo? Yeah, let's throw it up on there. What the hell? We are all out of order on this FlameTech Football Friday, especially with Jeff Reinebold. Yeah, let's get the photo up here from Brian in Alberta. This is from his living room. No, is it a video or a photo? I thought it was a photo. No.
He thought we wanted to play the jingle.
The photo on the text line.
The photo. Yeah, go to the text line, find the photo that was sent in of him watching the jingle.
We're just talking about it.
People are going to be sitting around their Christmas trees and like that jingle, text 902. That's going to be the new Christmas carol of the season because it's played so much. Everybody said so.
Well, I thought we were just saying, I said, do you have access to the text line? Can you pull the photo? That's what I asked. So that is Brian in Withrow, Alberta. That is his living room. So he's watching the show and he's taking a photo of it. So I appreciate that, Brian. Donald Mitchell in Ottawa, Ontario says, Tim and friends had a poll about the CFL. In the comments, you can immediately tell the fools who haven't watched a CFL game. I'm sitting going, who's the fools, though? Us sitting around talking about the same stuff every day? The general, pardon me.
No, I know what you mean for sure. We're the idiots beating our head against the wall every day, right?
Yeah. Dougal Cameron says Grey Eagle is on treaty land just southwest of Calgary. He puts in all caps. Great venue, boys. Oh, I can't wait to get out there. I cannot wait to get out there. So for those that have asked, are you ever coming back to Canada? Like that one CFL head coach. Well, are we? Yeah. And we're coming back to Alberta, broadcasting the show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. And I will tell you that I will be probably living on taco time, just so you know. And one of my favorite taco times is downtown on 11th Avenue. when I was in college. I said I've been eating the same thing at Taco Time since high school. Crisp meat burrito, soft meat burrito, large Mexi fries, and Diet Pepsi, because the diet's going to take the sting off all the other stuff I just ate. The Diet Pepsi.
Of course.
On what was called Electric Avenue. I don't think they call that anymore, but we're going to be spending significant time in Calgary. Jack in Alberta says, Darren, thank you for the brilliant idea of the RP show. Maybe the CFL needs to swallow their pride of my way or my way or no way and partner with you for great interest, creative content. Jason from Red Deer says, hey, Rod, come on up to Red Deer. We probably will, but again, it's a pretty big announcement for us today that we're going live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Pretty big announcement for us today. We'll just leave it there for now. The General in Calgary says, woot, woot, looking forward to the best sports show coming to my city here in Calgary. Finally, we'll get good coverage in this area. It's actually even bigger than that. There's more to the story that we can't divulge. And that's because it's Grey Eagle's announcement. To be honest, I'm at least as excited about that, Darren. You know what I'm just a very large.
I know exactly what you mean.
Component.
Look at. I'm just hoping Calgary, get your spit together, that the Flames are actually back on the ice by the time we get there. That's what I'm hoping for. That they're back on the ice so we can be there every day. And there's so many great people in Calgary I'm looking forward to connecting with. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. So really looking forward to it. Really, really am.
Maybe the stage will be set for Bo Levi Mitchell to make his long-awaited first appearance on the RP show.
Ooh, how about that?
Imagine?
Spicy.
The poll question today for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. Does the CFL need to change any of its rules? And I put in all caps, any. Does the CFL need to change any of its rules? 392 votes cast, 68% saying no, the CFL doesn't need to change any of its rules. Moving on, back to the comments for Taco Time. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, LOL, Electric Avenue. Oh, the memory. He said George Reed once had a restaurant just off the Electric Avenue strip. I didn't know that. We'll have to ask the G unit about that. See how the Alberta viewers have just gone bonkers in the comment section here?
They perked up, Rod. They perked up. They've been heard. And that's the idea, right? It's from a business perspective, it's really cool to sit here and be able to talk to the world, you know, the country at large, Western Canadians and North America, and even overseas. We know Trent's watching every day too. And so, hi, Trent. But it's important to get to these communities and make meaningful connections with each of them. So you feel like we care about your community, because we do. You know, we care about Calgary. We want to find out what's important to you and talk about that. We've done it in Winnipeg. We want to do more of that in Winnipeg and Edmonton and Vancouver and Toronto and all over the small towns in between.
From the General in Calgary says the good news, Moose, is the Flames players have no symptoms, so they should be good to go Tuesday versus the Ducks. Jason in Red Deer says Alberta loves you guys, and goes on to say Grey Eagle is putting you there permanently and becoming a show sponsor. That is a Texas 10-4, Jason. Yes. See, back to our conversation earlier with that CFL coach saying, well, wait a minute, are you ever coming back to Canada? I just noticed you're gone. We've become that tree that you drove by for 30 years and then that tree's gone, right? And people went, what?
Yes.
So yes, we're going to the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, okay? And I'd rather talk about this than COVID, so it's fine. Anything you want to say before we break and come back and talk about the news of the day? Bowl season, Paul Maurice. Let's get back on track here. Anything you got on all of this?
Yeah, I'm excited. No, let's get back into Palmo. I'm following that intently close. So I'd love to get back into that for our Winnipeg viewers, for sure.
Okay. Jeff Reinebold will not be with us because of scheduling and flight situations, but we will be, all of us, together here until the top of the hour. It's a full-on Taco Time viewer takeover, and we'll be right back. You're watching on No Game Plus today, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might sprain your wrist, or even fracture it. A severe wrist fracture can take at least 2 months to heal properly. And it can cause you to develop arthritis that keeps you from doing something as simple as picking up your child without pain. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
It is the RP Show. It is FlameTech Football Friday. And having fun here today, as we always do. CFL season is behind us. It is bowl season today. The Bahamas Bowl, the Cure Bowl. Tomorrow, a litany of bowls. The Boca Raton Bowl will be going at Florida Atlantic University, literally 4 to 5 miles from me, Moose. And we talked about this at the start of the broadcast today. All the football people are coming to town. And one of the reasons is Clark asked me if I was available later on today for a pre-tape of an interview. And I'm like, no, I'm going to meet some guys. I'm scheduled to go meet some guys later on this afternoon. So stuff's moving. Yeah. stuff is moving. And, to piggyback on the announcement of us going to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino for a residency in the new year to broadcast the show live from their casino just outside Calgary. Ray in Scarborough, Ontario writes in and he says, the RP show is always welcome in Toronto. Boy, Darren, you would love that, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Well, that's on the list for 2022. And hopefully somewhat early in the year. I know we've got Calgary planned, but Toronto's on that list for sure. We've got a lot of people to meet in Calgary, or in Toronto, I mean. So, no, there's lots of business to do there. And I appreciate the warm welcome, Ray. So put it on the list.
Let's go.
Randy in Winnipeg regarding the news of the day. Well, a few things. He says, tough Charger game for me last night. His Los Angeles Chargers lost in overtime at home to Kansas City. And by the way, he might be the only only LA Charger fan that I know. Anyways, he says, thanks for the 9 years, Paul. Off the record was a good show. Have a good weekend, Rod Clan, from Randy and the Peg. So 3 thoughts in one there. And on the Paul Maurice thing, 9 seasons, step down. This, as we were saying earlier, all good things come to an end. You can always text the show, 902-518-3033. Pick up the phone and text RP. It's catching on, Darren. Does Dave Lowry, just to go back to the Florida Panthers situation, like we talked about Andrew Brunette as the interim coach of the Panthers, and I say that he should be for the rest of the year, despite last night's 4-1 loss to the LA Kings here. Because I don't know. I've never run a team, nor have you for that matter. But now with Paul Maurice stepping down, firing himself ostensibly, do you keep Dave Lowry in there? Do you wait to see how the team does? What if he's the next Bruce Boudreau, who isn't an assistant coach stepping up, of course. They brought Gabby in. But how do you keep Dave Lowry in that role? Or do you replace him as soon as possible?
Well, it sounds like from the reading I'm doing, through social and getting the updates on the fly, that Dave Lowry will be behind the bench as the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets for the remainder of the season. And they'll evaluate him throughout the season and then look at what they're going to do long-term during the offseason. Now, that's always subject to change, always. They can commit to Dave Lowry for the season now, but things can go south in a hurry. All it takes is Blake Wheeler and Dave Lowry having a disconnect, and they might need to make a change before then. But all signs point to Dave Lowry finishing the year as the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. So they're a little bit outside the wild card spot. I think it's 3 points out of the second wild card spot. We'll see if he can get them into a contention, if he can get them into a playoff spot or not. The other interesting thing with that is he's going to coach his kid, which is kind of cool too, in the National Hockey League. I don't know how many coaches have got to coach their kid in the NHL. So it'll be fun to follow, but yeah, tough to see Pomo go. I think he's a man with a lot of integrity. I got a ton of time for Paul Maurice, and it's a little bit of a turbulent time in Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah. Well, Adam Lowry, tremendous hockey player, and I think it'll be all positive there. How many times have we seen the coaches coaching their kid growing up? Doesn't usually work too well. But I think it'll work well with the Winnipeg Jets. But one thing about you and I, why I think this show works well, is we can disagree, but not hate each other.
Right.
And stab each other in the back and try and end their life, like a lot of people do in this world these days. But when I say that here with Joel Quenneville, whether he was fired, forced to resign, whatever, Andrew Brunette takes over with the Panthers, and they've largely been okay. And I look at Craig Berube in St. Louis taking over from Mike Yeo. They sucked when it happened. He leads them to the Stanley Cup. Who's to say Andrew Brunette's not going to do that? Or Dave Lowry? That's why my point is on Brunette is let's see how it goes.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. Like, I don't think anything needs to happen immediately, but I don't think, like in Winnipeg, it's a little different. This team is ready to compete, but they're outside of a playoff spot. They might not be chips all in this year. So you got some time for Dave Lowry. I think Florida's chips are all in, and maybe Brunette's the guy. but I think you're monitoring that quite closely in Florida. And if you think that he might not be at some point, then you got to make a move. I don't think you're as patient to throw the season away and just we're going to address it in the offseason if things don't go well. But if things are going well, yeah, I say stay with him. I'm with you on that.
Brian in Withrow, Alberta, who continues to watch us on his big screen in his television, casting his YouTube. He's dropped a pin on the map of where the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino is. I might add, there's a Tim Hortons nearby, Darren, and it's just west of Mount Royal University, which is my old stomping grounds where I went to school. It's my alma mater.
Yeah.
So while I get a little screwed around driving, was I doing the driving or were you doing the driving when we were there? My God, I haven't drank in almost 7 years and I can't even remember who was driving. It was you.
You were driving. Remember? Because both of us, we did switch. I drove, but don't you remember the passenger seat with the door and Jim after the rodeo? I was in the passenger seat.
Jimmy two tables
in the window. Yeah. So
you slammed the door on him.
Well, not quite, but kind of.
It's just west of Mount Royal University, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. And Brian goes on to say, will you consider going to Flin Flon, Manitoba? The funny part would be Rod explaining to the Florida football boys about the story behind that. What the hell? Well, there's a story behind all of this. I mean, a few years ago, Darren and I were broadcasting the finals of the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, and there was a chance that Flin Flon was going to make the league final. And if you remember what I said, I am not driving to Flin Flon. And the SJHL stepped up and said, we got you a plane. Global Ag Risk has stepped up with a plane. We'll fly you to Flin Flon. I'm like, then I'm in, but I'm not driving to Flin Flon. Yeah. It's funny what happens when you put your foot down. It's really funny what happens. People respond.
You find
it's
out
wild.
how much people want you. Yeah.
Right. And by the way, we're going to break and come back for overtime, but I will just say this. This is not news to you, but it's news to a lot of our viewers, all of our viewers. I have an advisor, here in South Florida. I see her twice a week, talk to her twice a week, see her once a week, talk to her on the phone another time. And she just said, with regards to my career, she says, you've had opportunities in Canada, but they didn't really interest you. Am I right? And I'm like, that is the truth. Ever since I left the Rough Rider, I've had opportunities. They don't interest me. This is where I want to be. And yeah, there are other opportunities, and the Grey Eagle is that. But we're going where we're asked to go, and the show is growing outside the borders, and it's been fantastic. Yeah. We'll come back with overtime and put a wrap on this week right after this. You're watching the RP Show, FlameTech Football Friday on YouTube Live and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It's overtime, and we are live from South Florida, one half and the other from the NHL's Bermuda Triangle. I just tweeted it, so expect your Twitter to blow up most. The announcement that the RP Show is going to Calgary for a residency beginning in January 2022 with live shows from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Hey, the text line is open for overtime, 902-518-3033, and we are shipping our gift card of $50 to Calgary. Ironically, Craig Drebit of Calgary had the comment of the week for Taco Time. And his was on Monday when we were fighting over the, what a quick week, by the way, coming out of the Grey Cup, talking about changes, going from 3 downs to 4. And Craig said, can we all just agree that 4 downs are better than 4 tacos are better than 3? Anyways.
Yes, 3 downs might be better, but 4 tacos are better.
Right. So to our viewers in the time we have left here, trying to get on track, thank you, Nelson Vo, our content creator. He's brought up Adam Schefter, and the NFL's #1 insider. He has written, Nelson does, per Adam Schefter and Dan Graziano, the Raiders-Browns game is potentially going to be postponed until Monday or Tuesday. The NFL and NFLPA are currently in discussions about it and decision to be made soon. So there's that. I see the NHL insiders are doing all the same stuff about NHL games that may be put on pause or not. Nobody has adequately told me yet why this week out of all this is broken, and includes you.
I know, and usually,
but I didn't expect you to give me the. I know. Well, because there's no answer to it, as I've learned.
Well,
when things don't add up, they don't usually add up.
Maybe everybody's, early December having their Christmas parties, and their guards down, and they're gathering with everybody, and boom, we got a spread because everybody's a little more festive and wanting to celebrate. And we're seeing. Even the commercials on television around the vaccine. It's like, this Christmas, you can be together now. Last year you couldn't, but this year we're all allowed to be together. So everybody is interacting, and maybe that's why it's spreading now. I don't know. That's the only explanation I can give you.
Clark, if you don't mind, if you just get ready for the MySAS 411 business of the week. We're not going to do it right now, but just get ready for it, which I'm sure you are. But also from Adam Schefter. Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars, saying this morning that the firing of Urban Myers will provide clarity and focus for their locker room. What has happened in Jacksonville? We might have to get John Chick on the air, Clark, next week. Can we try that? Get John Chick, Jaguars alum and Rough Riders alum, to say what happened in Jacksonville in 13 games that Trevor Lawrence is throwing his coach under the bus now, which is probably true. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is saying anything wrong, but how could it go so bad so fast in year one with the young coach and the quarterback?
I know. So fast. And, and Urban Meyer's career is not over. He'll go back to college and he'll be great and he'll win. He'll go to television. He'll be really good. It's just the NFL. He's not good at the NFL. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. And for whatever reason, college tactics don't work with grown men. We know that. Junior tactics don't work in the NHL. You have to be able to adjust. There's no question he knows the game, but it's a different mindset when you're in a different, game plan when it comes to culture and the locker room. So no, he didn't adjust. It's just a complete circus, and we'll wait and see where it goes.
The MySAS 411 Business of the Week, which we do every week for our friends at Direct West, connecting Saskatchewan businesses to people, people to businesses, and businesses to businesses, is M. Reed Bookkeeping in Moose Jaw. The MySAS 411 Business of the Week is M. Reed Bookkeeping in Moose Jaw. They're a team of bookkeeping experts in Moose Jaw that work with agriculture and small business to provide bookkeeping, payroll, and training services to assist people in making decisions to achieve their financial goals. M. Reed Bookkeeping relieves customers of record-keeping tasks and deadlines so they can focus on their strengths and business goals in their operations. Find them at MySAS 411 today. How it all works is like a phone book in your hand. Download the MySAS 411 app. I've got it on my main screen. Type in bookkeeping. Boom. Up it comes. M. Reed Bookkeeping would be one of your options. Well, we send you into the weekend, Darren. I will say this. Enjoy the bowl games. I'm thinking that I'll be taking on the Dolphins and the Jets on Sunday afternoon. That's looking like that's a thing. How about your weekend? How's it looking? You're on the air tonight?
Enjoy it. I'm on the air tonight, and I'm going to put my feet up on the weekend.
If anybody deserves it, it's you. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. We'll see you Monday at 12 Eastern right here on Game Plus.
We don't know what we're doing.
Oh, no. How about that?